I'm going to be the voice in today's video. Thanks for your understanding. Have you ever found yourself on YouTube in the dead of the night watching the 15th video in a row and realizing more and more clearly with each passing second that you will not be getting enough sleep? Come on, be honest. Of course you have. That might even be what you're doing right now to feel less sorry for the lost time. You should spend it usefully. For example, watch a video about all sorts of strange things you can later tell your friends about. Let's start right now. Make yourself comfortable, get some snacks, and let's get it on. Music. The first logical question that arises at the sight of this, let's say, building is, how do you even order food there? How do the chefs cooking hamburgers fit in there? Where would you even put the money? Is McDonald's such an advanced company that it has evolved to the nano level? No, in fact everything is much simpler. Although the world's smallest McDonald's looks very much like a real restaurant, it is actually a beehive. A few years ago, Swedish authorities became seriously concerned about the dwindling population of wild bees, which are, as we know, extremely important for our planet. The restaurant chain decided to do something about that and created this beehive to draw attention to the problem. Good advertising and a place for bees to live on top of that, two in one, so to speak. By the way, this isn't the only way of preserving the population of bees McDonald's came up with. The company has also planted flowers around the restaurants and put beehives on their roofs, as well as on the McDonald's advertising banners all throughout Sweden. If you still think that life ends once you've hit 60 and there's no more fun to be had after that, you're in for a surprise. Let us tell you about Eugene and Walter Bostic from the city of Fort Worth, USA. Both of them had already celebrated their 80th birthday, but that did not stop them from living the best years of their lives. Why? Because they managed to bring an almost crazy idea to life. Yes, you got it right. They bear the proud title of the creators of a dog train. However, if you dig a little deeper, you'll find out that this is not their biggest achievement. For over a decade, every year, these men spent several $1,000s to feed all sorts of semi-wild animals around their houses: opossums, beavers, raccoons, squirrels, ducks, basically anyone who did not have enough food. The Bostic brothers were trying to atone for being avid hunters in their youth. Wild animals weren't the only ones interested in their food. Eugene and Walter met a lot of wild dogs that soon became their pets to make them happy. The men built a fancy train for them. You might be surprised by how much the animals enjoy each ride on it. The very final stage of laziness is when you do not even want to eat on your own, but dream of a special machine that would bring a spoon or fork directly to your mouth. The creators of this invention, however, disagree. Popinator is a device that can throw popcorn straight into your mouth. It sounds absurd. We agree. However, you might be surprised to find out how smart this machine actually is. Yeah, it detects exactly where the voice is coming from and shoots the popcorn in the right direction. All that's left to do then is open your mouth and catch it. In our opinion, this thing is especially useful to have it work because it allows you to eat without getting your hands dirty. Looking at this dress from afar, you might raise your eyebrows and wonder what's so unusual about it. The dress, of course, is beautiful, but it's not really that amazing. However, let's take a closer look at it. What, still haven't figured it out? Okay, in that case, let's look at it in cross-section. Nowhere not mistaken, you are looking at a wedding dress that can be cut into the thing, as it is actually a masterfully crafted confection. Rima Siraj, a cake designer from Dubai, was the one who decided to take on such an incredibly challenging project. She spent about 3 weeks on it, 180 hours overall, and that's without counting the planning stage during which she was coming up with how her cake would look and what it was going to consist of. What's amazing is the dress was decorated with 2,400 individually handcrafted flowers and 3,000 lace elements. Just think about it. This was all created entirely by hand. It's quite a pity that the cake wasn't used at anyone's celebration. It became an exhibit at the Cake Talks pastry competition, in which Rema acted as a judge. Weird is an understatement. We would love to tell you a little more about these monsters, but alas we cannot. They were filmed by random people driving by and there is no other information about them available. All that's left is look and wonder. If you still haven't been feeling too sad about having to spend all summer at home, then sorry in advance, but how can it not be upsetting if not so long ago the world was like this, free, colorful, and so very interesting? What you're looking at is an amazing design consisting of 8 trampolines of different heights installed right in the ocean, well closer to the beach, really. Florida residents created it with their own hands from 14 trampolines bought in a store and all sorts of various improvised materials to have some fun. By the way, the highest of them is almost 16 feet. Did you know that penguins are actually very curious animals? Just look at how interested they are in the huge dinosaur skeleton. You might be wondering how the penguins ended up in the museum in the first place. This looks like a live-action version of the Madagascar cartoon to us, but these videos are actually an advertising campaign of the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. That was the unusual way they chose to attract more visitors. The penguins visited a museum, a cinema, even a football stadium as part of the campaign, and you know what, advertising or not, the penguins on tours are very cute, so the honorary title of the most original prankster of all time goes to nature. Sometimes it creates things that are so amazing people have no hope of replicating them. For example, this fancy island in the shape of a fish cracker. If anyone is interested, this huge animal is one of the Virginia Islands, which is also a national park. It is located in the northern part of the Adriatic Sea, close to the west coast of Croatia. By the way, this fish is called gas. Nice to meet you. You would have to go straight to Langley County, located in the Chinese Guizhou province, to see this wonder of the world. Well, either that or watch our video. You've got to agree that would be faster and cheaper. Long story short, this is a waterfall plunging from the mouth of a golden dragon. The sculpture, of course, was created by people. Water is very closely related to dragons in the Chinese culture. The Chinese also believe that this mythical animal brings good luck and prosperity. That's why dragons can be found literally everywhere in China. However, of course, none of them can boast such a majestic surrounding landscape as this one. And here's another sculpture, this time from Japan. Or it would be more accurate to say sculptures, as there's a lot of them. The images you are looking at are from the annual War Art Festival, which has been held in the Nagata Prefecture since 2008. The festival is held at the beginning of autumn because that's the time of the rice harvest, after which a huge amount of straw remains in the fields. Most of it goes to feed cattle, but the rest, in the past, the valuable straw used to be thrown out, but now finally it is being used every fall. Students from the local Musashino Art University gather in Iwasaki Gata Park to design and create huge rice straw sculptures. Who do you like best, the fearsome bear or maybe the cute hedgehog? Write in the comments down below. Snakes that swallow their prey whole and then look very strange are not that uncommon. However, for the first time in our lives we can see a snake that swallowed an actual rifle. It looks very weird, of course, but it also has a certain idea behind it, which however remained a secret to everyone except the creator of the rubber sculpture, a Russian artist, Vasily Slonov from Krasnoyarsk. He has long been creating works of contemporary art and exhibiting them in Siberia and throughout Russia. His provocative works are mostly devoted to various social phenomena in his country. If your hand is too tired from petting your dog but your beloved pet still craves your attention, perhaps you should consider buying this machine. It was created by an American working at the Matt Thompson Woodworks wood shop. The machine operates, as we see, from a corded drill and only seems to have one flaw: the dogs don't seem to like it all that much. Apparently nothing can replace the loving human hands. Have you ever had a Christmas or some other decoration that you loved so much you didn't want to put it away in a box for a whole year? That's what happened to this Halloween decoration. It's little wonder the 12-foot tall skeleton must have cost quite a lot of money, so it would have Been a shame to only use it for a few autumn days. Besides, it looks so much like Jack from the Nightmare Before Christmas, so 2020 may have just won the prize for the gloomiest Christmas decorations, because these skeletons look very frightening. Even dressed up as Santas in the past, we had to stand in line to buy a ticket and then spend several hours walking along long corridors to enjoy works of art. Now the sculptures can be seen right on the city streets. If you are of course a resident of the town Wellington in New Zealand, you'd only have to look up the roofs of the neighboring houses. This unusual sculpture was installed on the roof of the Wellington City Gallery. It looks strange, to say the least, like a hand with an expensive blue-eyed face peeking out from the back of it. The name of this sculpture is Quasi, and it was created in 2016 by the artist Ronnie Van Hout. Interestingly enough, it is a partial self-portrait. It took some work to install the 16-foot arm on the roof. For example, they had to hire a helicopter. The result, however, is definitely worth it. Locals say it cheers them up and shows the spirit of the beautiful city. At the same time, hold on, don't forget to subscribe.